Fox News.
We are going to turn New York City around.
The former president in the Bronx saying he'll clean up the city.
We have mobs of migrants fighting our police officers and giving America the middle finger.
Thousands were at the rally. Two of them tell Fox.
It's time for a change in leadership. We've been voting down the same party for years now.
For me to come and think Republican and think Donald Trump and say it's time to right a wrong for him, it's time to right that wrong that they're doing to him, that's coming from the heart.
Democrats led a Trump's not welcome in the Bronx counter-protest.
After attacking us day after day, if he thinks that he could count on us for a second presidency, he is dreaming.
New York City Councilman Oswald Feliz. Israel has found in Gaza the bodies of 3 more hostages Hamas killed in the October 7th terror attack.
The remains of Hannah Yablonka, Michael Nisbaum and Orion Hernandez were recovered during an overnight operation in Jabalia in Gaza's north. The Israeli military says intense combat was involved. Hamas is believed to still hold 125 hostages, of whom 39 are already dead.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. An American service member is in critical condition and injured along with 2 others on the floating Gaza pier the U.S. military installed to deliver humanitarian aid to Palestinian civilians. Louisiana's legislature has approved a bill to reclassify 2 abortion-inducing drugs as controlled dangerous substances.
But both drugs have other common uses, including inducing labor, stopping hemorrhaging, and treating miscarriages. In a letter to Louisiana lawmakers, more than 200 doctors warned against making it more difficult to prescribe them. Supporters of the reclassification say it'll protect pregnant women from coerced abortions and stop unlawful use. The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments this year on an effort to restrict access to mifepristone.
That's Fox's Lisa Brady. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Well, former President Trump was rallying in New York City. President Biden was hosting and toasting Kenya's leader at a state's dinner.
Till we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. To Kenya.
President Biden intends to designate Kenya as a major non-NATO ally, citing the country's cooperation on combating terror groups, ISIS and al-Shabaab, and leadership in sending peacekeeping forces around the world.
Very grateful for President Ruto's leadership here. Multinational effort, but Kenya's willingness to really lead this matters.
President Biden thanking Kenya's President William Ruto for deploying 1,000 police officers to Haiti as part of an international force to quell gang violence in the country. The U.S. is not committing troops, the president says, but is providing about $300 million in material and logistical support. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A former Baltimore prosecutor, Marilyn Mosby, who faced up to 40 years in prison for perjury and fraud convictions, sentenced to 1-year home confinement.
God was here today, and I know he's with me. He touched the heart of this judge and has allowed me to go home to my babies.
Mosby will also have to serve 3 years supervised release. On Wall Street, the morning after the worst day of the year for the Dow, plunging 605 points. Stock futures are rising modestly. In the NBA playoffs, Boston wins again.
Whatever it takes, it's the playoffs, man. Whatever it takes to get a W on defense, on offense, that's what I'm going to do.
Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics with ESPN after he scored 40 points in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals last night in Boston to lift the Celtics over the Pacers 126-110. Boston, which won the opener in overtime after Jaylen Brown hit a three-pointer with 6 seconds left in regulation, is up 2-0 on Indiana.
Fox's Jared Max on the ice. The Edmonton Oilers won the NHL Western Conference Final opener in double overtime, beating the Stars in Dallas 3-2. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A Springfield judge blocking a state election bill that gives Democrats an advantage towards keeping their legislative majorities before the November general election. Judge issued a temporary injunction pending a hearing on June 3rd. Under the measure, local political party organizations no longer appoint candidates to fill out legislative ballots. A bill designed to further regulate funeral homes in Illinois moves forward. State House approved a measure this week. It would require creating a tagging system with a chain of custody documentation for all human remains for any death that happens in the state. IDOT and law enforcement agencies across Illinois urging drivers to be safe this holiday weekend. Authorities launching the Click It or Ticket campaign to crack down on seatbelt law violators and impaired drivers. During the Memorial Day campaign, law enforcement will step up traffic safety efforts. As we stress, be sure you slow down on the highways and have a safe Memorial holiday weekend. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, here we go into our Memorial Day weekend when we salute, remember, recognize our armed forces, the people that keep our freedom, because it has always been about the soldier. If we don't have protection like that, people come and take it. Ladies and gentlemen, he's our meteorologist, Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you the pool's opening tomorrow. If you want the best value, you can get the punch cards or get those memberships going. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Well, Mr. Weatherman, we have cloudy, hazy, little fog in the area. What are we looking at for our 3-day weekend?
Well, going to be off and running. Look at a split with some weather-related issues already today, already late this morning and early this afternoon. Up to the north of us, severe thunderstorm watch until 1 this afternoon. Kind of an unusual timing, but we're watching one of these jet streak wind-driven up aloft thunderstorm complexes. A squall line, slightly derecho looking, coming out of central and eastern Iowa with dozens of reports of 65 to 75 mile-an-hour wind gusts, both on the front side of that thing, which is right now running from up around the Cedar Rapids area down to Iowa City, curling back to Kirksville. So, and it's moving eastbound at better than about 50 miles an hour at the current time. And then on the backside of that, also some wind issues as that thing clears on out. So we'll keep an eye on it with severe thunderstorm watches till 1. McLean, Ford, Iroquois counties northward. Looks like we're going to have to be especially vigilant, kind of on that US 24 run, Watseka to maybe Chenoa northward, where it's probably the greatest impact here sometime into the mid-morning to early afternoon between about, let's say, 10 and 1 this afternoon. So plan accordingly if you are traveling on northward. A little weaker affair, but these things this band will come on through lickety-split with a quick downpour and obviously the wind-related issues. Apart from that, clouds building. We're in the 67-degree range right now, and an afternoon high apart from and away from any of the thunderstorm activity to about 84. We'll see an overnight reading for tonight to level off down to with an evening thunderstorm chance still to 63. Quiet tomorrow to open up the pool. Sunshine, a bit cooler, less humid, and 78. Maybe chasing these active thunderstorm clusters around Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Going to be a close call at the Brickyard as well to get that race completely in. The high near 80 degrees. Lesser rain chance, maybe a shower around early late in the day on Monday here and there. Partly sunny, cooler, 73. 4, maybe 5 days of dry weather finally with highs in the 70s Tuesday through Thursday, back up near 80 next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't talked to Nicolee in a minute, former national YR chair and the GOP National Committee woman from Maryland, the last Republican known in the state of Maryland. Nicolee, how are you?
I'm great, Stevie J. How are you?
Nice to have you back on the program. All right, so what do we know about COVID and Dr. Anthony Fauci after the fact?
Oh, my gosh. This man just never, ever stops. But the good news is we finally have details. We finally know what's going on. It took 4 years. It took over 20 million deaths. But we finally, thanks to Republican persistence in the House and a whistleblower, have proof backwards and forwards in tons of emails that are now released and available online. If you go to the U.S. Select Committee, it's got a fantastic, you will learn everything you never wanted to know. Essentially, this guy, Dr. David Morans, was besties with the guy at EcoHealth Alliance, who sent millions of taxpayer money here in the U.S. to the Wuhan Lab of Virology in China. And he worked for Anthony Fauci from 98 to 2022. And was Fauci's right-hand man, did whatever he wanted, got anything through. And essentially, he violated federal law in 4 very clear ways. Number one, he covered up the origins of COVID, which they helped create by funding this gain-of-function research and killed millions of Americans and others around the globe. Number two, he evaded federal Freedom of Information Act law, which requires the federal government to share basic information that we request. And number three, he asked for kickbacks on government contracts or grants. And number four, he took direction and did work to help promote that government grant recipient who was his best friend. So in all 4 ways, these are gross violations of federal law. And finally, this week, you saw Democrats suddenly come through in a bipartisan way and say, oh, essentially suddenly agree with what we as Republicans have been beating the drum on since 2020.
Well, okay, so now what do we do?
So, yeah, that's a great question. The Democrat representative from Hawaii finally was asking good questions, saying, okay, are you apologizing to the U.S. public? Should you be held accountable? And he's like, well, I didn't mean to do anything wrong. And then you read these emails. Here's a quote from one of his emails. I learned from our FOIA lady here how to make emails disappear after I'm FOIA'd, but before the search starts.
Wow.
So I think we're all safe. And this is to the guy who sent the money to China. And then he goes on to say, plus, I deleted most of those earlier emails after sending them to Gmail. So we're kind of lucky this guy is completely ignorant and arrogant, that he doesn't understand how technology works. And so we have this tremendous record of all of the ill they did. And once again, finally, maybe the media will get the memo to start covering this and treat things differently, because the Biden administration just last week pulled the funding for this EcoHealth Alliance. But, Republicans can haul people in front of hearings for years, and DOJ won't prosecute them. But now that the Democrats are finally seeming to agree with us, maybe there will actually be cause and effect.
And what about Dr. Anthony Fauci's legacy?
Exactly. Well, the way I read these emails, and once again, they're all on view for the public to read, I think Fauci should be prosecuted just as much as Dr. David Morin. Rand Paul was completely right on this. He's been right all along. And in these emails, Morin specifically goes against Rand Paul, basically everyone in the media daring to ask questions about them and saying he hopes they're off the trail, essentially, and calls Donald Trump the orange blob, etc. So, highly partisan activist government bureaucrat using millions of dollars to create, viruses that killed millions of people. So I sure hope there's repercussions for this man.
Well, it's good to get the truth out anyway, even if nobody's going to know about it. I mean, because the media's not going to hit this thing, and it's just not going to,
this should be front page news everywhere.
Yeah, right.
I mean, how incredibly outrageous is it? And the Democrats are even finally on board now, and still, didn't see it in some papers that even try to consider.
Well, I know how they'd get coverage if you say it was Eric or Donald Trump Jr. Then it would get some coverage. Yeah, they did it. They did it. Okay, so let's go to Nicolay Ambrose and the last Republican gathering they had in Maryland at her house.
Bueller.
Yeah. Anyway, nice of you to be on. By the way, am I wrong in thinking the Donald Trump rally was spectacular in the Bronx with
South
the
Bronx?
What the Nicolay? There were tens of thousands of people, or the estimates. What in the Bronx?
How awesome is that? I am a strong believer in being on the offensive, even in seemingly deeply blue areas. So I sincerely hope this fall's election will be a landslide, but have to, act like the underdog and have to put Democrats on the offensive. And, wouldn't it be beautiful for this country, just for the sake of unity, to see something like 1984 victory, like Ronald Reagan had? But there, with mail-in ballot games that can be played in states like mine. There are 14 states that kind of have a ballot free-for-all. You have to win by a landslide to come out victorious in the end, period.
Well,
keep it up.
It'll be interesting. I still don't believe Joe Biden will be the guy. I do not. I think they know that, and I think maybe the early debate will finish that, and he'll come out and say, you know what, I want to spend more time with my family. Then it'll be a free-for-all. Then it'll be a real free-for-all. Man.
So I totally agree with you that I don't think Joe Biden can make it through a single debate. He just can't, right? I mean, but if he can't complete a sentence that's scripted, how on earth would he make it free-form through a debate?
No.
But the problem is he does not want to go. He's so stubborn. He might not know how to complete a sentence, but he thinks this is absolutely his right, and he doesn't seem to acknowledge that he's in failing health. So I don't know if Jill Biden finally takes this bull by the horns or what, but clearly Democrats are in chaos when Nate Silver's asking if he should step down.
Nicolene, how can people find you?
I am at NicoleeAmbrose.com, Nicole with an extra E, and I am posting what we've talked about today, so you can look up all of these fun emails on Facebook at Nicolene USA and Insta and Twitter at Nicolene Ambrose.
Hey, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Checking your sports headlines, Diane Ducey.
Well, Atlanta beat the Cubs yesterday 3-0. That sets up the Cub Card Series that's going on down in St. Louis. Let's hear more with our Redbird recap.
After an off day yesterday, the Cardinals are back at tonight as they welcome in the rival Chicago Cubs for the first series between the two teams this season. It appears to be a matchup of two teams heading in different directions. The Cardinals come into the weekend winners of 8 of their last 10, while the Cubs have lost 7 of their last 10. While the Brewers do remain in first place in the NL Central, the third-place Cardinals trail the second-place Cubs by just 3 games going into the 3-game series. Miles Michaelis is scheduled to pitch the opener tonight. He comes in with a 3-5 record and a 5.77 ERA. Michaelis has a record of 5-4 with an ERA of 2.58 in 19 appearances over his career against the Cubs. Shota Imanaga will start for Chicago. He has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this season with a 5-0 record and a .84 ERA. First pitch from Busch Stadium is scheduled for 7:15, meaning coverage gets underway at 6:20. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Baltimore beat the Chicago White Sox 8-6. That's a 6:40 start today. Indy 500 on Sunday.
Yeah, weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you that they're always looking to increase the team. If you'd like an opportunity for growth in a supportive environment, carl.org/careers.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather-free Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Get ready to roll into this long holiday weekend. There'll be dry hours, some sun, but also outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms. That'll be the story for the day today. Increasing and building cloudiness and showers and thunderstorms will come calling into the later morning and more likely to come on through in a couple of rounds this afternoon. A couple of strong, if not heavy, if not severe storms in some parts of the area. Highs up around 84 in between the showers and the thunder with a gusty south wind. Last round of showers and thunderstorms out early on tonight. Low down to 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny, bit cooler, less humid, a high around 78. Another repeat performance here for the day on Sunday with some limited sun but scattered showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Highs up to around 80 degrees. It'll be a close call with the Brickyard on Sunday. Makeup day on Monday, a lingering shower chance here and there. Partly sunny, highs near 73. Dry weather, 4 days of which will get going here into next week, Tuesday through Friday. Highs in the 70s, getting close to the lower 80-degree range come next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Greg Solgay.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Economists at Goldman Sachs now expect the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates in September. The previous forecast was for July. They say recent speeches from Fed officials indicate a July cut would require better inflation numbers and meaningful signs of softness in the economy or labor market. The change in the outlook followed little change in the weekly number of jobless claims and other recent reports. Workday shares are losing ground after the human resources software company lowered its forecast for the year, estimating lower subscription revenue. Shoemaker Deckers Outdoor is reporting a dramatically better quarter than expected. Deckers makes Hoka sneakers and UGG boots. Deckers is raising its forecast for the year, seeing sales up about 10%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
It's time to take the quiz. 5 questions, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
History, pop culture, science, sports, civics. How much do you know? Let's find out.
Who was the first person to walk on the moon?
Jackson or something?
Neil Armstrong.
Take the quiz every weekday at thequiz.fox and then listen to the quiz podcast to find out how you did.
Play, share, and of course listen to The Quiz right now at thequiz.fox.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
So I've mentioned CrossFit a number of times over the years. Actually, it's not years. It's a year and a half. I think Janet and I and family have been doing it. Christian owns a CrossFit gym at University in 5th. You have CrossFit. So I had no idea what the thing was. I had no idea what CrossFit was. No clue. Just kind of went because the family was going. And so we do this thing. It's pretty intense, but you can be scaled. So guys like me, a little older, can do it. It's all scalable. But they have every Memorial Day weekend. They have something called the Murph. It's in honor of Lieutenant Michael Murphy, who was a Navy SEAL who died in fighting in Afghanistan. And it's the subject of the movie Lone Survivor.
Murph the Protector was a movie, a documentary based on this experience happening in 2005.
Lone Survivor, though, they tell the story of all his guys.
So I can look that up,
I think that there was one survivor. Michael Murphy died. And so as a fundraiser, CrossFit adopted the Murph, which is a very intense workout that includes a 1-mile run and then 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats. And then another mile run. When you're gassed, you run another mile. And then some of the guys that really fit guys wear 20, 25-pound vests as well. So they add 20 to 25 pounds.
Right. Which is more realistic for the soldier and all that.
I think it'd be more than that, though. Right. I mean, those guys are carrying 60, aren't they? 60, 70 pounds of stuff.
And you're right, a lone survivor.
Yeah.
Wow, when you look at the stories, it's amazing.
They were amazing soldiers, and they just got cornered and pinned in and trapped. And
he was 29.
Yeah. But a Navy SEAL about tells you all. So anyway, I'm going to attempt the Murph. I scale it like I have to. I can't quite do it exactly with what's called RX, the real push-ups. I can now evolve to knee push-ups like girls and women, they used to call the girl push-ups. I can do a girl push-up now.
Okay.
Anyway, it's just to honor, and CrossFit does a lot of that. They remember the soldier, the fallen soldier. We all ought to remember the fallen soldier this weekend. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we take for granted the amazing life that we have here and the opportunities that exist. But you've seen a bit of, unsettling uncertainty with the withdrawal from Afghanistan, all these other things that have happened recently, and you see the bad actors kind of rear their heads when there's nobody kind of watching, and that's kind of what a lot of people think is happening right now. Is There's not a lot of leadership going on from the standpoint of just things break out. The soldiers protected America since this thing started 200 and almost 50 years ago. So they get a lot of credit for being willing to die for their flag, die for their country, the ultimate sacrifice. So it's totally appreciated by, I know, so many. But just remember, say a prayer for them and their families, the families that are left behind too. So.
And if you'd like to get in on decorating graves, I know Grandview has over 2,000 flags that they'll set up after 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, and then 250 full-size flags at 6 a.m. on Memorial Day Monday. Grandview is at 4112 Bloomington Road between Champaign and Mahomet. And the ceremony is at 10:30 with patriotic music. And we're honoring Rich Barnett, who was an Army veteran who really, for decades put this together with AMVETS and the VFW and the American Legions in the area. So this is one of the premier spots to have a really moving service at 10:30 on Memorial Day morning.
Okay, and again, thank the soldier that's still with us. I mean, we remember the fallen,
Absolutely.
But certainly those that served and still struggle with a lot of issues too. All right, we're going to come back. Brother Johnny's on. It's Friday, so we'll give Johnny a call. I don't know if you saw any of the Trump rally in the Bronx.
A lot of people.
And a woman
woman
fainted, so he does what he does. He said, take your time, we're good. And he just stood away from the microphone until the medical people got there. But they were there 3 a.m., waiting till 6 p.m. for Donald Trump. I have never seen this. I mean, I've seen pretty energetic rallies, but this is a rock concert. I mean, this is a show.
Yeah.
People it's a remarkable thing that's happening. He says, 2016 was really good. 2020 was good, he said. But he said he's never seen anything what's going on right now. I think people are pretty fed up with a lot of things. Groceries, crime, border, withdrawal from... There's just a lot of things. Withdrawal from Afghanistan, there's just a lot. All right, that's coming up 728 ESPN 93.5.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Does your bank keep rewards programs out of reach? While some banks save rewards for a select few, Fisher National Bank offers free rewards checking to everyone for doing what you likely do already. Make 12 debit card purchases, receive statements electronically, and have one direct deposit a month. It's that easy. Rewards checking requires no minimum balance and offers ATM fee refunds and delivers an excellent annual percentage yield. Learn more at FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Think you have to settle for mediocre car insurance to save money? Think again. It's possible to get superior coverage and still save money with Erie Insurance. Customers who switched to Erie saved up to $951. It pays to compare. Switch and save with Erie.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Annual savings based on new customers surveyed in March 2022 who reported savings when switching auto insurance. Individual premiums and savings will vary.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Huge outpouring of support for former President Donald Trump in New York City, South Bronx neighborhood.
It's time for a change in leadership. We've been voting down the same party for years now, and nothing has changed. Things have gotten out of control.
And Mr. Trump discussing the economy.
On day one, we're going to throw out Bidenomics. They're going to replace it with Maganomics, like your hats. Maganomics.
The last time that area supported a Republican president was in 1924. The top United Nations court will rule today on an urgent plea by South Africa to order Israel to stop its military operations in Gaza and withdraw from the area. Israel is not likely to comply with any such order. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A bill that caps the monthly cost of prescription inhalers at $25 in Illinois. Illinois House passing the measure, which would ban health insurance companies from denying or limiting coverage for the prescription inhalers starting in January 1st of 2026. Many Illinoisans with asthma currently pay between $180 and $300 a month for inhalers. IDOT and law enforcement across the state urging drivers to be safe on the roadways over Memorial Day weekend. Authorities launching the Click It or Ticket campaign to crack down on seatbelt law violators and impaired drivers. During this campaign, law enforcement stepping up all traffic safety efforts. Champaign County Sheriff's Office needs help in finding 2 car burglary suspects in Savoy. Tuesday, they broke into several cars on Lyndhurst Drive and stole items. Police say the victims' cars appeared to be unlocked. No cars damaged in the burglaries. Those suspects were caught on nearby surveillance cameras. Police continue to investigate. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting News.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather-free Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Get ready to roll into this long holiday weekend. There'll be dry hours, some sun, but also outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms. That'll be the story for the day today. Increasing and building cloudiness and showers and thunderstorms will come calling into the later morning and more likely to come on through in a couple of rounds this afternoon. A couple of strong, if not heavy, if not severe storms in some parts of the area. Highs up around 84 in between the showers and the thunder with a gusty south wind. Last round of showers and thunderstorms out early on tonight. Low down to 63. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a bit cooler, less humid, a high around 78. Another repeat performance here for the day on Sunday with some limited sun, but scattered showers, thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Highs up to around 80 degrees. It'll be a close call with the Brickyard on Sunday. Makeup day on Monday, a lingering shower chance here and there. Partly sunny, highs near 73. Dry weather, 4 days of which will get going here into next week, Tuesday through Friday. Highs in the 70s, getting close to the lower 80-degree range come next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Greg Soldier.
All right, it's Brother Johnny on Friday, a new Cincinnati Red fan. He's been watching the Reds more baseball he has consumed in 40 years. Brother Johnny knows. You never watch this much baseball, ever.
Well, as George W. would say, that information is accurate.
There you go.
Well, we've never had anybody play in the major leagues that's a family member, right? Wow.
No, and it's amazing because there's a lot more. There's been some changes since the 70s, okay? When Ferguson Jenkins, who, by the way, was one of the best pitchers who's ever pitched. Little credit, but more wins than Bob Gibson. Sorry, Steve, but he was your guy too. But
I'm on my third guy, Johnny. I'm on my third guy. So.
Oh, that's true too. Anyhow. It's a great game. I think I'll compromise with you, Steve. We'll go with the Astros. We won't make it a fastballs only, but we'll change the game to you got to tell the pitcher what you're going to throw. I mean, the pitcher has to tell the batter. Then you'll see some action.
Yeah.
It's just too much of a one-on-one battle of wits and guessing which is amazing. I like it, but I just don't know, the viewership's falling.
Yeah, I know. That's why they sped it up with the pitch clock and all these other things.
the
Johnny
speed-
thinks they
the
should
speed
throw a
of-
pitch the batter can hit. No, what's coming, they'll hit the heck out of it, be more action, more runs. Be like making a wider net in soccer where it's 10-9 versus 2-1. That kind of action.
Something like that, yeah. And exactly. So that there's just more going on. You see more defense. I don't think you can shorten the game anymore, but I think you can make it a lot more exciting to watch. And I mean, it's hard to hit the ball, Diane. Man, that is hard to hit.
Sure.
If you hit 1 out of 3, you're great.
No, right. 3 out of 10, you're great. I mean, you're a Hall of Famer.
That's
3
1 out of 3. Well, that's true too. That's right. That's even lower than 1
300. I mean, a good average in baseball. If you look around the league, good average in baseball is 250. I mean, it's just the way they quit the shift for the most part. They can still drift, but not shift. And so that lowered batting average is a lot too when they figure out.
That's what I'm talking about right there, is somehow make more good things happen by stopping the shift.
Yeah.
I think that's not enough. I think you just throw fastballs.
I mean, you wouldn't have probably wouldn't have as much surgeries on all these arms too if you're not throwing that Rod Swihart curveball. I mean, come on, man, come on.
No, that'd be a whole different thing, but it'd be a lot of fun because let me tell you something. And you got to have a different category. This part's over because you can't count the 172 home runs as compared to Roger Maris's 61.
Yeah, right.
If you're gonna just throw fastballs.
Yeah, no, that's right. New
it'll
book.
be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
it's fun to watch Jacob Hurtubise. It's really fun.
And actually, I just did an online search to see where his stats or whatever comes up, and it says first major league stolen base, RBI single, and tumbling catch was posted.
Yep. So, all right, Johnny.
Fun to watch.
It was fun, and it is fun. So, the Bronx, you're not going to send Donald Trump into enemy territory. The last guy to go there was Ronald Reagan. What about yesterday in the Bronx? Donald Trump.
The medians of our highways are crumbling. Our sidewalks are littered with garbage, bottles, and trash. But worst of all, the discarded needles from people that so desperately are in need of help. And we have mobs of migrants fighting our police officers and giving America the middle finger. I'm here tonight to declare that we are going to turn New York City around, and we are going to turn it around very, very quickly. We're going to renovate New York's subway system so it no longer looks like it hasn't been cleaned since 1932, but rather it will be the most beautiful transit system anywhere in the world. Who said we're not going to win New York? We're going to win New York subway.
I don't know about that. What do you think, Johnny? You're not going to win New York.
Oh, who knows? Who knows? It's over the top for me. I mean, it's true that the Democrats are doubling down on what they've been doing. They really are not going to change anything, and they're unable to defend what's going on. So it's just been a constant assault on Trump, really, as a symbol of the other side. Mm-hmm. And then we get rolled up with him, and so that's their plan. And I think it's failing. So there is a chance that some of the states that usually go blue would vote for Trump. I still think it comes down to reducing the mail-in ballots and that kind of exposure to fraudulent votes, because I think that's a much, much bigger problem than we thought. And it's coming out in places everywhere. The media, as you've seen, won't even talk about it yet. But it sneaks out here and there. And with a same-day registration, let's say it was hard to vote. Let's say it really was too hard to vote. I think Trump would win 40 states.
Well,
I think if people who had to think about it and couldn't register that day because they just didn't have time in 4 years to register to vote for that sacred right, so they can still do it that same day, which means anyone can fill out the registration and the ballot. And how do you find out if it shows up in a box? And the signatures would match.
Well, and then the ballot harvesting, which is legal in some states, you don't know who actually did the voting, because the people that you say, yeah, you can take my ballot, they're supposed to fill it out still. But we don't know how that works either. So,
well, the problem is the only way you can defend that process is by saying, well, nobody would cheat. That's the only way to defend it.
Yeah, it's a felony. You can't cheat. It's a felony.
Yeah, nobody would do that. That's against the law.
Yeah.
And you just laughed when I said that. We didn't plan this, and I said is that they wouldn't cheat, and you just laughed.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately,
No, that's right.
many people would cheat if they can, and it's too easy to do that. So it always comes back to that issue in this era of politics to me, because I happen to know that almost everybody I've ever met doesn't agree you can go into a store and steal something if you need it, and that we need some sort of a border, etc. How about our energy system being independent is better than being dependent on Iran and Russia. There's just so don't tell me, well, that a guy can be a girl, maybe. Well, even that, I just can't vote for Trump. I'm not buying it.
Well, he did mention something that is a very tough issue right now. He talked about the people with syringes and desperate need of help. He talked about building more places for those folks, but that gets into a very tough, well, who's the arbiter of who goes where, and you can't make them go against their will, and then you have them committed. Well, that guy was fine, and they committed, that kind of thing. I don't know how you do that, John.
Well, it'll actually cause an increase in people who will at least go to places to live because it's better than where they are. And so it grows. But I think the idea of having a place for people who have nowhere to go and are in dire straits other than the steps of City Hall is a good idea, because now we're all paying for it every day, and it's not really each of our individual fault, but it's, like you said, a tough problem, and we see it here. What we have in New Orleans is one of the best homeless shelters, which is one that puts a homeless person through a program, and they'll agree. They'll take them in for a few nights, but if they want to stay, they can stay for a year and go through a program. And guess what it teaches, Steve? The gospel. And these folks are turning around, and then they'll help others because they were in the same boat, and it's not a quick fix. And it takes a tremendous amount of people and time and money. But it does work. But it isn't a matter of throwing money at it either, because that's not going to work.
Well, those that are on drugs or those that have mental illness, again, that's going to take psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors, all kinds of different things. That would be a huge commitment. But again, you just can't live with a tent in front of the business, and you can't do that. And so if we say you can't do that, we got these options. I don't want to be there. I don't know. That's where it gets where.
Well, that's where you just have to say you got to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't. I don't think that our civil rights extend to staying on public property in the way of people who are trying to do something else. And so you just have to be that considerate of others.
I can't remember where I was yesterday, but it was somewhere where the cars are lined up. I said, what's going on? It was for food. And even today, the people struggling so much to buy basic things because the cost of everything is so high, and we haven't kept up with the money from a salary standpoint. So it's a real stretch, and I think that, and I feel it out there, that people are kind of holding on tight and looking for hope, Johnny. They're looking for some optimism, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And let me just go back to, if Joe gets 85 million votes this time, you need to flag that because that's another effect of the policies we've seen, which is just throwing too much money out there. Well, that drives prices clear up, and it doesn't drive your salary up as fast. So it's hard to buy groceries, is what that amounts to. So you need a little help, and so we need to work that issue. I'm kind of glad I'm not in charge, Steve. I can tell you that.
Yeah, you'd said once when we talking about the president, you said, "Steve, it's not a great job. It's just not, it's really hard." All right, 7:44, Brother Johnny in New Orleans on the Tapman's Towing phone line. It is Memorial Day weekend, and I'd suggested, and you can check my work, that, man, if we didn't have a soldier, if we didn't have the strong defense, there are bad actors in the world looking to take your stuff, right?
Well, I mean, throughout history, you've generally had to protect your country and your culture, or you just get overrun. That's just what would have happened in World War II, for example, and that's what our military does. They protect what we believe and allow us to live the way we want to do. And that takes really sacrifice. And we know a lot of people at this point that have given their life for that. And I think it doesn't change. It doesn't. One day you say, we're tired of this. We don't need to worry about bad people because they will take your stuff. That's all there is. It's too bad. I would vote against that, but it's going to happen.
Well, and then I think after World War II, America kind of was the beacon of hope, and people looked to us for help and protection. And, I want to be like that. Will you help me be like that? And so then it gets, because it doesn't appear Donald Trump's all for these. Let's go in and send our guys and money and soldiers to help fight. He doesn't. I don't think he's for all that.
No, but I got to tell you, the American impact was more just a land that you have an opportunity to really do what you feel God made you to do. And that's why people are still running over here, and I would do the same thing. And it isn't a matter of all the immigrants are bad. It's a matter of we can't support everybody in this country. We were just talking about the people on the steps of City Hall, much less let 10 million people in, and we don't even know who they are or where they're going. And then we're going to support them. And that's the problem. But it's those people that built the country, literally, coming from everywhere saying, I can do this thing or I can do that thing, and I'll get paid for it. I'm not going to be put on as a farmer or a peasant, and for the rest of my generations, that's what we do. In America, you can change that in one generation if you just get here. And that's what our soldiers protect. And that's what we're fighting for right now, Steve. And you have to fight for it every day. It's just something that doesn't come naturally. You have to create it and defend it.
Yeah. It's human nature, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I saw a poll recently, and guess who? I don't know the poll. I don't know the sample size, but guess who number one choice for Donald Trump's VP was?
Is it Ben Carson?
It is not.
I don't know then.
Nikki Haley?
No. Nikki Haley came in at 5%.
Okay.
24%, Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
We'll have to talk to our friend Eddie Martin about that.
He's not a big Tulsi. He thinks he's too liberal. She's independent now.
She was a Democrat.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of guts.
Yep.
She's right up there with RFK Jr., which means to me character and integrity. You can have character and just be wrong about what you believe.
Yeah.
So it's the ones who are just playing us, knowing what they're saying isn't true that we don't like. But you got to like someone who believes what they say and
changed parties and said, I'm an independent now. This is crazy. And then she's among other things, she surfs. She's a military veteran, and she says, I can't believe Donald Trump's holding up. Most would collapse based on what they've done.
Right. See, and that's true. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, and Eddie's got her list of negatives, but she's always appealed to me in terms of just her honesty, and also I agree that I think she's correct on a lot of her views. I think she probably is wrong. I happen to not be wrong about any of my views, but I know that's
right.
her.
That's right. No, I mean, this when RFK Jr. sounds pretty good to me, you know how far we've drifted left, right? I mean,
well, but you got to realize he really hammers a couple of issues that we agree with him on.
That's true.
But he's really quite left. I particularly I just can't get my head around someone who wants late-term abortion to be illegal because that's a baby that could just be delivered. Right, and he's had to adamant, and then there's other over-conservation that basically stops development and puts massive government restrictions on things. And Eddie will get into that too. Eddie Martin, Phyllis Schlafly's replacement, who he's much more well versed in the do's and don'ts of politics.
Well, you know what, Johnny? We're a week away from June, and July is the Republican convention. August is the Democratic convention. That's in Chicago, and interestingly enough, both are a half hour away. The Republicans in Milwaukee. So it's happening. And again, I might be so darn wrong, and I've been so darn wrong on a lot of things, but I don't see Joe Biden being the guy. I just can't see it because they all see it coming. Everybody sees this.
Yeah.
The Democrats see it. They're going to have to say, honey, you need to read this today. And that's how I'm.
Yeah, I don't think he can win is the problem, and they are getting to the point where I don't know if anyone can win.
It's getting to that point, yeah.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if he just said, I'm going to spend time with Jill and the grandkids, and God bless America, and they'd be a free for all on the Democratic side on who they do. Oh my goodness!
True.
And they'd get pretty fired up. There'd be some hope on the Democratic side if they had somebody else. So
that's for sure. No, I think so. But look, they're not to be dismissed out of hand. They're a very, very capable adversary. I don't know that they play fair.
Well, but listen, Johnny, there's 160. What was the number? I get them confused. But there were 67.
160 million or 55 million votes with 112 million registered votes.
Well, and then we said you can register the same day. But if 67% of the country voted,
right,
and you have 58 out of 168 votes in, that's way more than 67%. So they're just some of these numbers don't add up, and nobody wants to chase them.
No, that number, like Diane, it's the same day registration. So it doesn't matter what your percent of the registered voters before the election was, because you come up with another 35 million votes of people who registered that day.
But don't they count as registered voters once they register?
Yeah, but the number you throw out was what the percentage of turnout of the registered voters we had
before the
day.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But what an effort to get 35 million registered.
Yeah. Well, okay. That would have taken most of summer to fill all those out. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
But I'm telling you that all stopped for the middle of the night in the votes was the theory is to figure out how many we need, because we can't come up short here once we turn them in. You can't turn in more. So they stopped to figure out, well, how many votes are we going to need? And they just delivered them.
Okay.
Boom.
So I stay on social media next week, even though it was the safest and most secure election in U.S. history.
Yes.
That keeps you on YouTube
There's
Live.
the clause.
Okay.
And at this point, my objection is just to ways that are obviously not secure enough to be sure that the vote's good. Forget what happened. We got another election coming up, and I don't want it to be a free-for-all where votes are coming in on trucks from everywhere. And if it is, it's Katie bar the door, and we don't know what the American people really wanted. It's make or break of the whole system. Our people are in charge.
So you're saying it's an important election?
It's an important election. It's important to know that you don't have to be an election denier to want a process that we can all agree a little more closely on what's fair.
All right, Johnny, always a pleasure. It's 7:53. Thanks for joining us from New Orleans, Louisiana. Always a pleasure, Johnny.
Well, and what's that first pitch time tonight?
We play in Cincinnati against those darn Dodgers. Cincinnati Reds host the Dodgers. Have not seen today's lineup. Jacob Hurtubise has been leading off for 3 straight games.
Yes.
Hopefully he gets that again tonight.
Is it 5:10 or 6:10?
I thought it was in the 6 o'clock hour, because I actually looked at going. In the 6 o'clock hour on Saturday, and then Sunday is the day game against the LA Dodgers.
Yeah.
In this series.
I just didn't realize. So Jacob was called up a week ago Monday.
Yeah, it's been like 10 days.
Wasn't it Monday, Steve?
Yeah, it was a week ago. Yeah.
What I was going to say is the Reds have played that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, day off Monday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do they get another day off?
I have to look at that, but they play the first pitch tonight, 6:10 Central Time.
6:10.
Dodgers at the Reds.
On the one hand, that seems like a lot of games. On the other hand, I wouldn't mind playing baseball every day. What the heck? Good for Jacob.
Well,
Stevie actually was able to sneak over to Cincinnati and Great American Ballpark. I mean,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Bark in the Park, so he was able to bring the dogs.
Yeah,
Johnny.
we brought Mosey and Lovey, and darned if there wasn't 498 other dogs. 500 dogs, Johnny. 500 dogs.
Were there many Reds fans middle of the day on Thursday?
No, they're not coming right now because the Reds aren't winning. So there was a lot of plenty of seats. We moved around quite easily, but it's a beautiful ballpark, and there's a lot of optimism where there was coming in. The Reds just have to get some wins going and get some mo going again. So But
all right,
Johnny. Thanks for being
good.
on. Appreciate it.
Enjoy
Have a great
the
weekend.
weekend.
Thank you. All right, that's Brother Johnny down in New Orleans, ESPN 93.5. Weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvement, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing, and outdoor living. Visit KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana vicinity. Next in a spring of these plains-based weather system marching out of the east with another round of showers and thunderstorms today through this evening. A break tomorrow. Back into it here for the mid part of the holiday weekend. Last piece of the system expected to move on through on Monday. Then the start of an extended period of drier weather and a warm-up in sight too. More humidity in the air as the day wears on today. Increasing and building cloudiness. Showers and thunderstorms will be in for the late morning and this afternoon. Some strong to locally severe storms are possible, high to about 84. Gusty south winds, showers and thunderstorms around early on tonight, low down to 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny, a bit cooler, less humid, the high around 78. Back into cloudiness for the day on Sunday. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon, the high near 80. Could be a shower in spots on the holiday Monday, Memorial Day high, partly sunny and 73. Dry weather Tuesday through Friday next week, mid-70s next Tuesday and Wednesday, closing in on 80 by late next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting at Beetrochus, Greg Solke.
All right, thanks so much. Again, Cubs Cardinals tonight in St. Louis. That's a 7:15 first pitch. We're on the air at 6:20. Cubs and Cardinals. Cubs have not been hitting the ball very well. Cardinals have been playing better, but the Cubs still a full 3 games ahead of St. Louis in the standings. Cubbies are second place now. Cardinals are up to third place in the Central 5-team division.
And then we have Illinois baseball against number 4 Michigan today at 7.
That's an elimination game. It's a double elimination tournament. Illinois lost to Penn State, which was a bad loss. And there's buzz about Illinois not getting to the NCAA tournament, even though you won the Big Ten regular season by 2 games. So I think the win yesterday, even though we got a break, about time.
Right.
Illinois had their share of bad sports breaks over the years.
That's
so
right.
There was an interference call and a guy sliding in the second, which there just wasn't anything there.
But a 4-2 win over Iowa in 10 innings.
Yeah, but that play changed everything.
It did.
It was really a tough call against Iowa because the kid slid into second base. It was a clean slide. I didn't see any interference at all. And the runner was safe at first. Well, after they called that, out at second, out at first, the runners that had scored had to go back to second and third. That was a huge play. So it was very fortuitous, and we caught a break. So, okay, let's take advantage of it. Beat Michigan tonight, and guess who we play? We beat Michigan, Penn State.
Yep.
Penn State's in the winner's bracket. Shut up. What are you doing? What are you doing there? But Penn State beat Illinois in the regular season baseball, too.
Oh, really?
So sometimes it's matchups, I guess. Anyway, Danny Harlib, the Big Ten Coach of the Year. Dan Harlib, we're rooting for the Fighting Illini in Omaha for the Big Ten tournament.
Absolutely.
And off to the NCAA. The Illini men's golf play today.
That's right.
So we'll keep track of that in Carlsbad, California.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. We are honored to be celebrating 15 years of service and want to thank all of our amazing clients for their confidence and trust. We look forward to meeting the needs of current and future clients in the years to come. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. We are a locally owned community bank that has served the area since 1955. Fisher National is rooted in the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on providing financial resources that match or better the mega banks. We are your friends and neighbors who are involved in your communities and take a vested interest in seeing our customers thrive and prosper. Offering a line of rewarding consumer-centric deposits, home mortgages, small business banking, and agricultural lending. There are no compromises banking local with Fisher National. Our convenient online and mobile tools are second to none. We'll work hard to meet your financial needs and earn your trust. Learn more about Fisher National at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Trying to get Democrat blue voters to go Republican red this year. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump held a big rally.
Thank you, everybody.
In the Bronx, New York City.
Crowd.
An estimated 25,000 were there.
We're going to bring safety back to our streets. We're going to bring success back to our schools. We're going to bring prosperity back to every neighborhood and every borough of the greatest city in our land.
But it is a Democratic stronghold there. No Republicans won a majority of the vote in New York City in a century.
Donald Trump is not welcome to the Bronx.
City Councilman Oswald Feliz told an anti-Trump counter rally the former president's dreaming if he thinks he can count on the Bronx to be elected again. Israel's armies recovered the bodies of 3 more hostages killed by Hamas in the October terror attack. Were then taken to Gaza. Israel says Hamas still has 125 hostages, but only 86 of them are alive. Off the coast of Gaza, something went wrong on that floating pier the U.S. military installed to deliver more aid to Palestinian civilians.
3 U.S. service members were injured while working on a U.S. Navy cargo ship near that pier. 2 of those injuries were minor injuries, but a U.S. defense official says that 1 service member is in critical condition in a hospital in Israel, but that these were non-combat related injuries.
Fox's Alex Hogan, another American tourist, faces sentencing today in Turks and Caicos in the Caribbean
for possessing ammunition on the island. Brian Hagerich could be imprisoned for 12 years.
I believe we've made a very, very strong case in my defense, and hopefully, we're just praying for the judge as well.
Speaking to FoxNews.com, Hagerich was on vacation with his wife and kids in Turks and Caicos in February when authorities at the airport found a box of ammunition in his bag. He claims it was an accident.
Fox's Edmund Brown. 2 other Americans have pleaded guilty to similar charges. 2 others await trial. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
An attempt to revive a stalled border security bill failed. And the morning after, Republican Senator Ron Johnson just told Fox.
And the reason that bill failed on a bipartisan basis is it codified an awful lot of Joe Biden's open border policy. Right. It was worse than passing nothing.
But Democratic Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says
Republicans want to give speeches, let the border fester, and do absolutely nothing to fix the problem.
But it wasn't just Republicans. The bill had less support from Democrats this time around, and not 1, but 2 of the 3 senators who spent months negotiating the deal voted against it, including Republican James Lankford of Oklahoma and Arizona Independent Kyrsten Sinema, who called the move to bring the bill back to the floor a show vote.
Whose sole purpose is to point the finger back at the other party.
The bill included reforms to the asylum and parole system, with billions in additional border security funding. Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Days after Sean Diddy Combs apologized over a video showing him beating a then-girlfriend in 2016, he's being sued in New York.
April Lampros, a former Fashion Institute of Technology student, claims Combs sexually assaulted her multiple times. According to documents obtained by Fox News Digital, Lampros says their relationship quickly manifested into a coercive and abusive relationship based on sex. Representatives for Combs not commenting on the lawsuit.
Fox's Chris DeMeo on Wall Street. A rebound may be brewing. Stock futures are rising after the Dow's worst day in more than a year, plunging 605 points. In the NBA,
Boston beat Indiana 126-110, led by Jaylen Brown's 40 points, giving the Celtics a 2-0 lead over the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Drama on ice in Dallas.
Here's Bouchard in front. Score! Connor McDavid, the redirect early in the second overtime. The Edmonton Oilers win Game 1.
The Oilers beat the Stars 3-2 on TNT in the NHL Western Conference Final opener. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. IDOT and law enforcement agencies across Illinois urging drivers to be safe this holiday weekend. Authorities launching the Click It or Ticket campaign to crack down on seatbelt law violators and impaired drivers. During the Memorial Day campaign, law enforcement will step up traffic safety efforts. As we stress, be sure you slow down on the highways and have a safe Memorial holiday weekend. A Springfield judge blocking a state election bill that gives Democrats an advantage towards keeping their legislative majorities before the November general election. Judge issued a temporary injunction pending a hearing on June 3rd. Under the measure, local political party organizations no longer appoint candidates to fill out legislative ballots. A bill designed to further regulate funeral homes in Illinois moves forward. State House approved a measure this week. It would require creating a tagging system with a chain of custody documentation for all human remains for any death that happens in the state. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you so much, ESPN 93.5. Our weather brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Busey, member FDIC.
Just reading something about the 38.4 million travelers. AAA had talked about that this weekend for Memorial Day holiday weekend.
Well, Greg Sawyer, our meteorologist. We got any weather issues in the Middle West?
Yeah, well, we certainly do already underway at this hour of the morning, and that's usually a signature of low-level jet stream, or at least low-level jet conditions, up around 4,000, 5,000 feet, intersecting with a little jet streak up at the airplane level, and humidity and dew points climbing, a warm front, and that's why you look out to the west on the radar sweep, and it is a bowed-out echo, almost some semblance of a derecho, but making its way out as far north as the Twins, the meat and potatoes of it all closing in on Dubuque, Galena, the Quad Cities right now on the nose of that jet there, and then trailing back to around Kirksville. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for McLean, Ford, Iroquois counties here till 1 this afternoon. Usually you start these things that point of the afternoon, but this is, again, a little different dynamic setup going on at the current time, and it is holding itself, holding its own, no warmer than cloud top, so keep an eye on, especially in that U.S. Route 24 run, Bloomington, Normal to Milford and northward, sometime in about that 10 o'clock, western sections to maybe noon to 1 by the time it hit the Illinois-Indiana line. Those weather watches up to the Illinois-Wisconsin line. We're 69 out Willard and Savoy, so heads up on the showers and thunderstorms late morning, early afternoon, maybe another batch into the early evening, and high temperatures today in between around 84. Humidity is beginning to climb as well if you don't feel it already. Tonight down to 63, sunshine, cooler, drier air tomorrow. Good day to open up the pools at 78, but we're back into chasing these thunderstorm clusters Sunday, the high near 80, a lingering shower chance on Monday, early and late at 73. We'll have to keep an eye on the storms as well, mid to late race time at the Brickyard Sunday. Then 3, 4, maybe 5 days actually of dry weather Tuesday to Friday next week. High temperatures between 75 and 80 degrees. Keep an eye on those late morning and early afternoon storms, especially from Champaign on northward. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, thank you, Greg. Have a wonderful weekend, sir. No weather Monday, my friend. You are off.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be on duty if you need me anyway.
There you go. Appreciate that. Greg Sawyer, our meteorologist. We're going to take Monday off. This could be big. I don't know what it means exactly. Scott Van Pelt on this settlement with the NCAA and the antitrust suit, essentially giving schools the ability to pay their athletes.
All right, this is a serious and very significant developing story. The NCAA and its 5 power conferences have agreed to allow schools to directly pay players for the first time in the 100-plus year history of collegiate athletics. The move means a multi-billion-dollar agreement to settle 3 pending federal antitrust cases as well. The NCAA is going to pay more than $2.7 billion in damages over 10 years to past and current athletes, sources told ESPN. Parties have also agreed, and this is, I think, the most significant development, to a revenue-sharing plan allowing each school to share up to roughly $20 million per year with its athletes. All Division I athletes dating back to 2016 are eligible to receive a share as part of the settlement class. Now, in exchange, athletes cannot sue the NCAA for other potential antitrust violations and must drop their complaints in any open case. So there's a lot of legalese here. I don't know how you determine who is entitled to how much, who's owed what. Does it matter if you're in a revenue sport or whatever? A great deal of uncertainty. You still have to direct your questions to the student athletes. What is clear is the charade over amateur athletics is officially over.
Yep, it is.
We're all adults. It's long overdue.
Yeah, okay. So, but how will it work?
Right.
Don't be putting limits on it, because then the cheaters still cheat and have that advantage. So I'm all for open books and everybody pays whatever they want to pay. As bad of an idea as it is to give multi-million-dollar deals to 17-year-olds, if that's what you've done, that's what you've done. We're trying to compete for the best guy, best woman, best athlete. And so now, I mean, are they employees? They get health care? They're certainly not student athletes anymore.
This article has a part that says lifts restrictions on endorsement deals backed by so-called name, image, and likeness.
So the NIL people are gone? We don't need them anymore because that's a whole different deal. Now the schools can pay. But then they're going to say, well, let's have limits. Okay, well, certain schools aren't going to have limits.
Right.
And so we're back to the square one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just somebody's going to pay $3 million versus $1 million. Isn't that crazy? I mean, he says, well, you gave him pizza money. That's a NCAA violation. I saw you pull that $20.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, how much can I make? And think about the domino effect of this kind of thing. How many 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds will be forced to go to whatever sport their parents want them to so they can earn money for the family? I mean, right? That's always kind of been there. But now it's like, okay, we know we got millions at this university. So we're going to go here, and what if you're not a Power 5 conference? What if you're the Missouri Valley? Talk about second tier. How do they ever compete?
Right.
It's just a different league. You're going to go play there. You're not good enough to play in the Power 5, huh? No bad. And then when they get good enough, they transfer. So the Eastern Illinois and the Illinois States and the...
Well, this talks about the Athletic Coast Conference, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, Southeastern Conference, all releasing joint statements saying they agreed to the settlement terms.
Well, now if you're an athlete in 2017, how much cheese can I get out of that? Huh? I mean, that's 8 years ago.
Right.
So everybody wants a piece of the pie here. 2.8 billion? That's a lot of money. I was middle linebacker, man. We didn't win any games, but I played in the Power 5. You owe me. I don't know. Good luck. Do you want to be on that committee?
Wow.
I think this changes things. I think Josh Whitman put out a statement.
Yes, he did.
But
and it's at fightingillini.com.
A lot of legal stuff in there. It's just what is the bottom line here? If the school pays, is it the school or is it the Division of Intercollegiate Athletics, which is separate from the budget of the school? I mean, I don't think taxpayers would vote for their money going to pay athletes. I don't think. But hey, listen, folks, if you're, I'm a purist, they should play because they get an education. That didn't happen anymore.
Right.
It's over. Whatever classes they're taking for the big stars is a charade. Probably always been like that. But now it's like, how much you paying? That's going to be public information, isn't it? Have to. We don't know exactly how much Coleman Hawkins got this year. I mean, now it's got to be, if it's going to be a university-led pay, that's public. I can find out what the president makes, President Killeen. All that's a public deal. You can find out what everybody in the public sector makes. It's part of the deal. Okay, I don't know. 217-359-2255. If you want to text in on the Fisher National Bank text line, all of our guests on the phone appear on the Tapman's Towing phone line. We jump to our morning sports where there is a rivalry beginning in St. Louis, Missouri.
Right, in Atlanta beating the Cubs 3-0, so they just haven't been hitting very well. I don't know why, but it seems like the Cardinals get fired up against the Cubs. It's happening at Busch.
Well, the Cubs get fired up against the Cardinals. That's nothing new there.
Okay.
I mean, they're just it's one of the greatest rivalries going on, and it's really fun. But don't get too disillusioned by the Cubs hitting, because when you play really good teams, they played Atlanta 7 or 8 times here in the last week. Mm-hmm. Atlanta's one of your premier teams. It might be different against Miles Michaelis, who's had a good career against the Cubs, under 3 ERA. But we'll see. There's definitely a little more momentum for the Cardinals this minute because the Cardinals have been so bad first 6 weeks of the year. So we'll see what happens. Cubs might snap out of it. It's a great rivalry.
Okay. And we had Baltimore over the Chicago White Sox 8-6. They've got a 6:40 start as that series continues. We also had Illinois 4-2 winners over Iowa, number 5 seed yesterday in 10 innings. This double play and interference at second, and the end of the game was a little on the ugly side. Illinois came out on top.
They called interference on Iowa, which didn't look like interference. They reviewed it and still called it interference. I didn't see it. Man, back in the day, if you went into second base, you took them out.
Yeah.
I mean, they slid at you.
That's right.
So this was a slide that looked right at the base. The player would move off. The runner was safe at first. They called interference. I thought it was a bad call, but a break for Illinois, and we'll take it.
That's right. And facing number 4, Michigan, 7 o'clock today. So go Illini. And as the number 11 seed with 30 other teams in Carlsbad, California, our Illinois golf team will be in action with stroke play going on. Is it the Charles Schwab for the PGA this weekend?
I believe it is. Scotty Scheffler's playing in it.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of rumors that all the charges are going to be dropped because his attorney came out yesterday and said he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And the police officer forgot to turn on his body cam, which would have vindicated him perhaps of what he's saying. There's just no proof of it.
Well, let's just hope it's all dropped.
I think you got to have
a mutual misunderstanding.
The attorney general, whatever they're called,
public defender in Kentucky.
Not public defender.
Oh.
It's whoever the prosecutor.
Okay.
If they have to decide to drop the charges, and they haven't so far.
Okay.
So I don't know what proof there is, and there's certainly. It's not a great look for Louisville.
Right.
So anyway, we'll see what happens.
Well, that was a week ago. We were coming into our Friday gig, and now the storms and stuff that was happening.
Well,
and
the guy died, and that kind of gets sidelined. But a guy named John Dodds got hit by a spectator bus. Mm-hmm. And that's caused
in the 5 o'clock hour.
Caught all the traffic messed up.
Dark and stormy.
And so Scotty was trying to get to the course, and he thought he was concerned who the guy was because he had a vest on, but he didn't see he was a police officer. Mm-hmm. And he's running at his car and all these other things. So it was a massive misunderstanding in chaotic conditions. And I think it's probably best for everybody to move on. I think the police have signed off on dropping charges.
Okay.
So we'll see.
NBA action. Boston now leading 2-0, beating the Indianapolis Pacers yesterday, 126-110. And in the West Side, we have Dallas and Minnesota in action tonight. Of course, the Indy 500 is on Sunday. Lots of friends going to check that out.
I'll take Mystic Dan in the Indy 500. Oh,
that was the horse race. That's right.
Hey, I give Scotty Scheffler a lot of credit because through this all, he talked how wonderful the police were.
Okay.
And how kind they were to him. Mm-hmm. And he just gave credit to the police that protect him. A lot of people would not do that. It would be jump on the bandwagon and defund the police kind of stuff. Scotty Scheffler did not do that. All right, we're going to check your weather here for the weekend. ESPN 93.5 with meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather-free Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Get ready to roll into this long holiday weekend. There'll be dry hours, some sun, but also outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms. That'll be the story for the day today. Increasing and building cloudiness and showers and thunderstorms will come calling into the later morning and more likely to come on through in a couple of rounds this afternoon. A couple of strong, if not heavy, if not severe storms in some parts of the area. Highs up around 84 in between the showers and the thunder with a gusty south wind. Last round of showers and thunderstorms out early on tonight. Low down to 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny, a bit cooler, less humid, a high around 78. Another repeat performance here for the day on Sunday with some limited sun but scattered showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Highs up to around 80 degrees. It'll be a close call with the Brickyard on Sunday. Makeup day on Monday. A lingering shower chance here and there. Partly sunny, highs near 73. Dry weather. 4 days of which will get going here in the next week, Tuesday through Friday. Highs in the 70s, getting close to the lower 80-degree range come next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Next week on an all-new Law and Order. Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours. The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote. Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out. That's spring-green.com.
Hey,
where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Crude oil futures are lower on concerns that the Federal Reserve will keep interest rates elevated for longer. Oil traders fear the economy slowing, which would lower demand for oil and gas. Goldman Sachs economists now see the Fed cutting interest rates in September. The previous forecast was for July. There are more signs of shoppers looking for bargains. Ross Stores is raising its forecast for the year. Its sales at existing stores were up 3% in the recent quarter. Lucid Group, the California-based electric vehicle maker, says it will restructure and cut about 400 jobs. Its EVs are made in Arizona. It lost more money than expected in the recent quarter. EV demand is softening. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Kudlow on Fox Business is now on the go for podcast fans. Download the Kudlow Show podcast every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com. Kudlow covers the latest headlines and business trends with an emphasis on the financial impact facing households and businesses across the country. Listen to interviews with key business newsmakers. The Kudlow podcast will be available on the go after the show every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Racing. Farmer City Raceway with this week's Friday Night Lights, spotlighting Nutrien's late models and Dreyer's top rods mods. Plus the full show with the gates opening at 4, hot laps at 6:30. General admission $15, veterans $10, kids under 12 free. Visit FarmerCityRacing.com for details. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Hi, it's Wes from Land's Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our mission at Land's is to provide top-tier service, prioritize our customers with upfront pricing, and maintain exceptional communication. We assure you at Land's we will only recommend what you truly need, from regular maintenance on your home's mechanical systems with the Land's Comfort family to replacement of existing equipment. Right now, Land's is offering up to $1,500 off qualifying Trane heating and cooling systems, and combining it with utility companies' rebates and potential tax credits, now would be a great time to consider updating your HVAC system. Visit us at landsinc.com.
Well, what are you doing?
Racing. Farmer City Raceway with this week's Friday Night Lights, spotlighting Nutrien's late models and Dreyer's top rods mods. Plus the full show with the gates opening at 4, hot laps at 6:30. General admission $15, veterans $10, kids under 12 free. Visit FarmerCityRacing.com for details. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
There he is, Lance Speaker, Farmer City. How are you doing, brother?
Morning. I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Good. How's your season going so far?
Well, it's not been too bad. Really, the two big events were really good turnouts, really good weather, and really good racing, so we can't complain there. Had a few rainouts, but that happens this time of year.
Well, it sure does. I think last year it rained every day, didn't it? It was just like nuts how many times you had to do that. All right, so people come out. Why do they need to come? They've never been to the Farmer City Raceway, Lance. Why do they need to come out?
Well, it's a good family fun event. You can bring out the kids. You can bring out your all ages. It's good for all ages. It's a lot of fun. Very hometown, small atmosphere. You can pull up to the fence, park, and tailgate on the back of your truck or vehicle or camper or whatever. Just a lot of good time. Room to spread out. It's not crowded. and it's always a lot of fun watching some racing.
When it comes to those RVs, a lot of them make arrangements ahead of time to get right there on the track. Explain all that.
Yeah, our fence, we're kind of a unique racetrack. We've got 40 spots right on the fence, and about 20 of those sell for the season. People that want to be able to know that they've got their spot, they come. There's a handful of different things. There's a grain trailer that sits there. There's campers that come in there, people in the pickup trucks. Every different thing you see, and of course they get the grills out, and the kids will be out there running around in the grass, throwing the football around, and it's a lot of fun, and it's cheap entertainment.
Well, it's just Americana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what we used to do before
Absolutely.
cell phones and stuff? Or, you go to the Gibson City Drive-In, kind of the same feel, where it's just like, wow, we're talking, we're looking at each other, we're grilling out. I mean, guys going around winning money. I mean, what the heck, Lance? Sounds fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Farmer City Heritage Days is coming up next weekend, right?
Yes. The big weekend planned next weekend, downtown, carnival and all that. There's a band. Saturday night, I think it's Chase Matthews, which is free also, so unless you want to buy a pit pass, get up nice and close. But it's free to the public, so that's always a fun weekend as well. We race first, and then we go up and watch music afterwards.
When you do have a tricky forecast like you do for today, what do? We watch on social media if you have to call it, or you just kind of go out and you can try to get most of the race in? How does this work?
Well, definitely everybody becomes a forecaster today, and everybody tells me what the forecast is going to be today, but I can read it as well as you guys can. And we're going to go out and we're going to water the track and prepare for the races like it's not going to rain, because you never know. We were supposed to get rain last Friday night, and it was all around us, and we still got all the racing in.
Okay.
So we will try to get it in. Looks like they're pushing a lot of it off. If we get the show started, and you're there, and just keep your armbands, and we will honor them at the next event. That's kind of the way that part works.
So what do you do, Lance? What do you do in January, man? What are you just hanging out, or what are you doing?
Well, unfortunately, I have a day job. So
what? Man.
So this is just kind of a volunteer gig.
Unbelievable.
Which takes a whole lot more time than my day job does. But even in the off season, though, we got a lot of all the scheduling and all the behind the scenes stuff happens in January.
Was there anybody around like you? I mean, this is just so unique of an experience that people need to go out and say, man, this feels like the 1960s, the good old days.
Yeah.
Right? 1970s, and we're all together and hanging out and not distracted by 1,000 things. I love it.
Well, we sure love it here too. I mean, it's definitely, like I said, it is unique, but we enjoy it, and we really take pride in it.
Yeah.
So the gates open at 4, hot laps at 6:30. Maybe you should explain that kind of format. People just come on in, and you can have supper out there. There's various concession stands. There's a beer pavilion too.
Yep. Our concession stand's open right away at 4 as well. We have one in the pits and the main one. For our special events, we've got a really good food truck that's there. He won't be there tonight though. So, but also the beer tent for sure open, and we hot laps at 6:30. That's when the cars go out and warm up. Then they qualify. That's how they determine what order they will start in. Then we have opening ceremonies, and then we start racing. So it's usually about between 7 and 8 when we really get actual racing going.
And the type of vehicles that they're using?
Well, again, we have 4 classes tonight. Late models is usually what everybody comes to see. They're the fast ones. They're the big ones. They're the ones you could most compare to NASCAR. Street stocks is more. It's supposed to sound like a something you pull off the street, but it's not exactly. It's a race car, but they look more like a car. And then of course your open wheel modified. They're the ones that look kind of funny. There's the wheels stick out. It's almost like a sprint type of looking car, and then of course we have kids mods. Those are really neat. It's just a smaller motor and a modified, and these kids are 8, 9, 10, 11 racing, and it's kind of the youth of the sport, trying to get them into it to get so the sport continues.
Yeah, Lance Speaker, hope it goes well, my friend. Pleasure talking to you. Keep it going at the Farmer City Raceway. We appreciate you.
Yep, thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
FarmerCityRacing.com for details. $15. A good time tonight after 6:30.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. new roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Sticky nights and stuffy rooms make it hard to enjoy your home during the summertime? Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to make sure your air conditioning is working at its peak performance. Tune up your AC by joining the maintenance program and get all the perks it has to offer. Call Dogtown to come out for a no-cost quote to upgrade your system today with a Lennox high-efficiency system that will be sure to save you money on your energy bills and let you relax comfortably. Call 217-841-4728 or visit dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Donald Trump making a big play for New York with a rally in the Bronx that swelled to 25,000 people.
We're going to bring safety back to our streets. We're going to bring success back to our schools. We're going to bring prosperity back to every neighborhood and every borough of the greatest city in our land.
No love from the Democrat establishment, as New York Governor Kathy Hochul told a cable news anchor who's hosting the debates.
I'll tell you, it won't make a difference at all, Jake, and that is for Donald Trump to be the ringleader of and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx. New York will never, ever support Donald Trump.
The Democrat governor taking heat for calling her own constituents clowns. For the holiday getaway, gas prices $3.51 a gallon, says Gas Buddy. But fast food inflation, a Big Mac now averages $8.29. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A Springfield judge blocking a state election bill that gives Democrats an advantage towards keeping their legislative majorities before the November general election. Judge issued a temporary injunction pending a hearing on June 3rd. Under the measure, local political party organizations no longer appoint candidates to fill out legislative ballots. A bill designed to further regulate funeral homes in Illinois moves forward. State House approved a measure this week. It would require creating a tagging system with a chain of custody documentation for all human remains for any death that happens in the state. IDOT and law enforcement agencies across Illinois urging drivers to be safe this holiday weekend. Authorities launching the Click It or Ticket campaign to crack down on seatbelt law violators and impaired drivers. During the Memorial Day campaign, law enforcement will step up traffic safety efforts. As we stress, be sure you slow down on the highways and have a safe Memorial holiday weekend. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather-free Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Get ready to roll into this long holiday weekend. There'll be dry hours, some sun, but also outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms. That'll be the story for the day today. Increasing and building cloudiness and showers and thunderstorms will come calling into the later morning and more likely to come on through in a couple of rounds this afternoon. A couple of strong, if not heavy, if not severe storms in some parts of the area. Highs up around 84 in between the showers and the thunder with a gusty south wind. Last round of showers and thunderstorms out early on tonight, low down to 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny, bit cooler, less humid, a high around 78. Another repeat performance here for the day on Sunday with some limited sun but scattered showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Highs up to around 80 degrees. It'll be a close call with the Brickyard on Sunday. Makeup day on Monday, a lingering shower chance here and there, partly sunny, highs near 73. Dry weather, 4 days of which will get going here in the next week, Tuesday through Friday. Highs in the 70s, getting close to the lower 80-degree range come next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Greg Solgay.
All right, ESPN 93.5, 834, last segment of the week for us. I'm Stevie J. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Okay, so what has hit you the hardest with inflation? Gas prices? Might be a combination.
Yeah.
For me, it's probably the grocery store.
Groceries.
I think groceries. And with the numbers coming out during the news here about a Big Mac's about $8. I just bought 4 Jimmy John's the other day for $42.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have Jimmy John's than a Big Mac. About the same. Big Mac's going to be less food than probably a Jimmy John's.
Mm-hmm.
Way healthier Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
And when was the last time you had a Big Mac?
6 months ago.
High school for me, maybe.
Is that right?
I just don't eat there.
Okay.
I don't know.
When they were doing dollar tea, and I usually get a mix of sweet and unsweet. I really am a big fan of McDonald's and their tea.
I just know that the dollar menu is no more, is it? I mean,
No.
You can't have a cheeseburger for $1.
That's right.
Yeah.
They call it a meal, deals or whatever, but it's not as low as $1.
Yeah.
Nothing's $1.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Right.
But that's why I think a lot of families you drive to for $18, you get a whole bunch of food.
Yeah.
It's but we were in somewhere, Copenhagen, and we were really, really hungry, and we couldn't find anything, and we ended up buying 20 cheeseburgers. All the kids were with us, some other folks, so we threw the cheeseburgers on the counter. It was $99 over there.
Wow.
And so that was just a cheeseburger.
Right.
Anyway, it's just part of the pain, and I think that's what James Carville say, the Bill Clinton advisor. It's about the economy, stupid. Because people feel that every day.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting pounded because you got this and this, and something came up at school, and you got to pay for that, and you didn't know, and that dance outfit that you forgot about. All those things just add up, and then you go to the grocery store, and what normally costs $75 is about $150 or $125,
right?
Whatever it is. And if you buy meat, it's just off the chart,
right?
And so, what are you going to do? Not buy meat? You got to have some meat and protein and stuff like that.
That's right.
Anyway,
that's why we're seeing an uptick at the food pantries. I know my hometown parish at St. Pat's in Tolono were open between 9 and 10:30 this morning, and people are coming, and we're needing more volunteers to help man the food pantries and more people to donate. And we actually have a freezer at our St. Pat's in Tolono with meat and proteins given out, and a partnership with a lot of the different restaurants and things like that to, for instance, if there's extra potatoes at the ribeye or something like that, there's a partnership to, cycle those through before they go bad. So we're just really working hard, and it seems like there's a lot of traffic at the food pantry.
Well, and again, I don't know if you have to qualify for that or you just get in line. I don't think they card you or ask questions, do they?
That's right. Not at ours, but there are ones. For instance, Eastern Illinois Food Bank has a mobile food pantry, and they go to the rural communities, and that's always at the beginning of the month. So in 2 weeks, that's going to happen. And they suggest you register so that they know you're coming. If they stop in St. Joe or in Philo here, they'll have a stop for half an hour, and they want to get your sack all ready to go. So you can go to EI Food Bank and get yourself signed up and registered when the mobile food pantry comes to town once a month.
Well, hang in there, folks. It's hard.
That's right.
It's just very hard, and we're all feeling it. If you have all your credit cards maxed out, you're not alone, and it's frustrating. If you're a day late on a payment, the interest rate's probably going to bump to 30%.
That's right.
And it's very difficult to ever get that in hand. It's a hard deal. So I think that's why you're seeing energy for Donald Trump, is that people remember in 2016 to 2020 it was pretty good. Everything was going well. I think he'd have won easily in that election of 20 had the pandemic not popped up, caused a whole bunch of other problems. And then there's whether it's taboo to talk about it. There were some questions on voters and some of the ballots that showed up at the drop boxes, because we have drop boxes all over the place because of the pandemic, so they didn't have to get sick and all these other things. So things change a lot. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with it now. And I think it's a fair question to say, gosh, if I pick up a bunch of ballots, where did they come from and who filled them out? And you say, well, that's, of course, a felony. You'd never cheat. Well, again, we know the time.
Yeah.
And so there's questions. And I think both sides will probably come out and say, this election wasn't good. Democrats started that in 2000, I think. And then 2016, Hillary said it was taken from me. She's an illegitimate president, all these other things. And then Donald Trump, of course, claimed foul in 2020. We'll see what 2024 brings. But right now, it doesn't feel like Joe Biden is going to beat Donald Trump this minute. Doesn't feel like a long time to go. But I still can't believe they'd keep him going. I just think there are other candidates ready. J.B. Pritzker is interested. Gavin Newsom is interested. Governor Whitmer from Michigan is. There's a lot of people that believe if they could get the nod that the Democrats would deliver the vote to where they would win. But there is a serious question whether Joe Biden, he's the butt of a lot of jokes, even on the liberal shows. They're all questioning. They're telling him to step down. They're calling him Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She should have stepped down and see what happened, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That is definitely a hot topic. For Donald Trump to go to the Bronx, you see the unhappiness if tens of thousands of people showed up in blue Bronx. screaming yay for Donald Trump.
I think it said 25,000 on that rally.
25,000 when they expected 3,500. I mean, you're going into deep blue. Yeah, you wouldn't expect. And Joe Biden's not getting anybody to come. There's just not much excitement.
Well, and a lot of these election talks makes me think about the judges that are needed on both sides of the aisle to make it a fair election. So if you're passionate about this sort of thing, an online search a way to start that process.
Yeah, we could use you. Aaron Ammons has said we really need Republican judges. All right, it's 8:40.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
And now, Kelsey Briggs, owner of Salon 105 in Mahomet.
We're trying to bring something big to a small area and bring luxury into our small community. It is definitely a dream come true. I knew from a young age that I always wanted to do hair and own a salon, which is why I got a business degree, and it has led me here. And the growth has just been so much faster than I anticipated, but it's been amazing. One thing that really sets us apart as a salon is our team. We have such an amazing atmosphere. Everyone is so respectful to each other, and it's pretty essentially a drama-free zone. We do a lot of team building and hang out with each other outside of work so that we can get to know each other on a personal base, which makes our environment very welcoming to anyone who comes in.
Salon 105, providing friendly, personalized service through a terrific, highly skilled team. To book your appointment, visit salon-105.com. That's salon-105.com. The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, disease, and insect control. Over 40 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com. Coming Saturday, June 22nd, it's the Cardinal Bus Trip, brought to you by Route 66 Solar. Yes, join us for a beautiful day in St. Louis as we take on the San Francisco Giants. For information about our suite and all the beverages and food that are included, and a wonderful motor coach from Timmy Tours, simply text in BUS to 217-359-2255. Join us Saturday, June 22nd for the annual Cardinal Bus Trip from ESPN 93.5. Yeah, a few tickets are left. We still can get you on that bus, and it's, less than a month away now.
June 22nd.
Yep.
It's Cardinals versus Giants. It's a 1:15 game. We'll leave at 9 a.m. from First Christian Church off of Staley and Curtis Road. And you can text in BUS 359-2255. We'll get you more information.
All right, let's check sports headlines.
After Atlanta beat the Cubs 3-0 yesterday, it's Cubs versus Cards. Here's your Redbird recap.
After an off day yesterday, the Cardinals are back at tonight as they welcome in the rival Chicago Cubs for the first series between the two teams this season. It appears to be a matchup of two teams heading in different directions. The Cardinals come into the weekend winners of 8 of their last 10, while the Cubs have lost 7 of their last 10. While the Brewers do remain in first place in the NL Central, the third-place Cardinals trail the second-place Cubs by just 3 games going into the 3-game series. Miles Mikolas is scheduled to pitch the opener tonight. He comes in with a 3-5 record and a 5.77 ERA. Mikolas has a record of 5-4 with an ERA of 2.58 in 19 appearances over his career against the Cubs. Shota Imanaga will start for Chicago. He has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this season with a 5-0 record and a .84 ERA. First pitch from Busch Stadium is scheduled for 7:15, meaning coverage gets underway at 6:20. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
And when it comes to baseball, Illinois is in action at 7 o'clock tonight against number 4 seed Michigan as the number 1 seed. We did take down number 5 seed Iowa yesterday 4-2 in 10 innings. Some contentious calls towards
just
the end of the game.
one interference call.
Okay.
That's it. And obviously Iowa wasn't happy, and I can't blame them. But Illinois got a break, and we'll take it.
That's right. And Illinois as a number 11 seed with 30 teams in Carlsbad, California. And that's stroke play that's happening. Of
I
course,
think they're doing 3 rounds, and then they break it down to top 10 teams and go match play. And, that always is. Match play is where you're one-on-one with a golfer, and they're essentially 18 little games. One hole is a complete entity in its own, so if somebody beats you on a hole, they're up 1, and you win the next hole, now you're even, and that kind of thing. So every hole's a game.
some qualifying rounds for the NCAA tournament in Eugene, Oregon for the women yesterday in track and field. In the hammer throw, Amber Simpson, and 2 pole vaulters, Tori Thomas and Mia Morello. So go Illini. We've got the Indy 500 coming up on Sunday.
All right, check Greg's weather forecast. Another time for your Memorial Day weekend coming up next. It's ESPN 93.5.
Have you ever looked at a junk truck and said, man, that truck is pretty? 2 men in a junk truck. Trucks are pretty. They're pretty big, so they can handle large jobs. They're pretty reliable. 2 Men in a Truck has been recognized as a trusted leader in the moving industry for over 35 years. Now we are proud to offer that same reliability to junk removal, and they're pretty fast. When you're ready to let some things go and that you don't need, you don't want to wait 3 weeks. You want it gone now. Go to 2meninAjunkTruck.com and make room for what matters most.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Illini fans, join us in Memorial Stadium as we honor 100 years of tradition with $100 football season tickets. Don't miss a moment this season and lock in your tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against the University of Michigan. Experience more cherished moments in Memorial Stadium this season and get your $100 season tickets at fightingillini.com.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience, several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana vicinity. Next in a string of these Plains States weather system marching out of the east with another round of showers and thunderstorms today through this evening. A break tomorrow. Back into it here for the mid part of the holiday weekend. Last piece of the system expected to move on through on Monday. Then the start of an extended period of drier weather and a warm up in sight too. More humidity in the air as the day wears on today. Increasing and building cloudiness. Showers and thunderstorms will be in for the late morning and this afternoon. Some strong to locally severe storms are possible, high to about 84. Gusty south winds, showers and thunderstorms around early on tonight, low down to 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny, a bit cooler, less humid, the high around 78. Back into cloudiness for the day on Sunday. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon, the high near 80. Could be a shower in spots on the holiday Monday, Memorial Day high, partly sunny and 73. Dry weather Tuesday through Friday next week, mid-70s next Tuesday and Wednesday, closing in on 80 by late next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting at Beetlechurch, Greg Solgay.
The best steaks in Central Illinois belong to one institution, and that's the Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown eclectic Gifford. I'm Jay Lehman. I'm a regular at Long Branch Steakhouse. I take my wife. I take my kids. I love the fried pickles, fried mushrooms, the onion rings, and of course, the steaks. The ribeye is my personal favorite. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9. Tell Donnie Jay Lehman sent you. Don't forget the mac and cheese. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9 in downtown Gifford.
I'm Leslie Ingold. I am a nurse and a regional stroke coordinator for OSF Healthcare in Urbana and Danville. May is Stroke Awareness Month, and there's an easy mnemonic that we can refer to when we're worried that someone we know or someone we're near is having a stroke, and we tend to use the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance. Am I leaning to one side or the other? E is for eyes. Vision trouble. F is for face. Take a look at their face. Does it look symmetrical? A is for arms. Stick your arms out, palms up, close your eyes, and take a look to see if one arm drifts or if they both stay the same height while you hold them for a count of 10. S is for speech. When speech comes out, does it make sense? And then T is for time. Call 911. Get to the hospital right away. Our treatment methods are based on how quickly that you can get to the hospital for treatment. Learn more at osfhealthcare.org.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
All right, ESPN 93.5. Glad you're listening. Final few moments. We'll be off Monday, back Tuesday.
A lot of schools wrapping up, Stevie.
Oh, boy. Don't they go into June or not anymore?
Not anymore.
Nice.
It's right around Memorial Day holiday. They wrap up. Then there's Teacher Institute and cleaning up the school
Aren't you done May 1?
I
mean,
know.
the kids
Pretty
are
much.
They're only teachers are ready. They have to fulfill the state requirements. That's the reason.
That's right.
They're not learning much
But
anymore.
they're cleaning out their lockers like a week out and stuff.
Yeah,
So.
no, that's a fun moment. Mm-hmm. Teachers get a whole month and a half off, maybe. Maybe 2 months. I don't know.
Crazy.
And administration, you still go. Not much going on.
Right.
But that's, listen, if you want to be a teacher, we love you.
Yeah.
I think that'd be as hard as it gets right now.
Especially with the phones. Man.
I have zero understanding of how phones are allowed in the classroom.
Right.
Zero. I don't get it.
And to me, the school board needs to say no phone.
Well, the principal.
Right.
And
not the teachers in every
no,
class.
You just have a rule at your school. You don't have cell phones out during class.
Absolutely.
I guess it can be in your backpack, but you can't have it in your hand. I'm stunned that that's allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that allowed everywhere? No, it's not allowed everywhere. Certainly, there's some schools out there that say, we're not doing that in the classroom, so put those away. I mean, this might be a rare occasion where everybody has a phone. It's like a laptop. You can effort something and all look at something together, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's... Phones are awesome from the standpoint of multitasking, getting a lot done when you don't have to get back and go to the phone on the wall and, Anyway, it's just too much.
Kind of like the old adage of fire. You love heating up the meat, but yet it could start your home on fire.
You just got to be so careful.
Right.
And you'll be reticent. You let your child have it too much. There's too many dangers. Put blocks on them. It's just too much screen time, man. Just too much screen time. You're gonna go out and play, man. Yeah, we used to walk to school to snow backwards against the wind both ways. And one of the kids today, they're soft. That's what soft I call them. Yeah. Man, it just, everybody goes through this where you age and you look back and you start saying, well,
it sound ancient.
In my day.
I know it.
Hey, Grandpa, settle down. I don't think there's any doubt. It is a huge, glaring addiction that we all have with our phones. I shouldn't include everybody, but most of America is full-blown addicted. We can get off this addiction. There won't be any of the withdrawals chemically. Maybe not, but there's some, so you take it away from 15-year-olds, it's a problem. Okay, talk Monday. Tuesday.
Enjoy the weekend.
Already goofed it up.
Yes.
No mail in banks and got a 3-day weekend. Enjoy, Diane.
And thanks to all those who served our
You
country.
bet. We thank them very, very much. All right, that's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed weekend.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com. Escape the ordinary and embark on an unforgettable adventure with Stevie Jay Travel with Larry and Elena Kemper. Hi, it's Stevie Jay. Picture yourself aboard a small yacht departing from the enchanting city of Dubrovnik, Croatia. As the gentle breeze carries the scent of the Adriatic Sea, you'll set sail toward the captivating Dalmatian Islands. Over 10 magnificent days, immerse yourself in the Mediterranean lifestyle where every moment is a celebration of beauty and tranquility. Explore hidden coves, swim in crystal clear waters, and stroll through seaside villages. With Stevie Jay Travel, every detail is taken care of, from luxurious accommodations to delectable onboard dining experiences. Relax on deck as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. This is more than a cruise. It's a journey of discovery and delight. Escape to paradise with Stevie Jay Travel. Visit StevieJayTravel.com. That's StevieJayTravel.com for details. Your Mediterranean adventure awaits.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Summertime is just around the corner. Sign up now for summer camps at the Urbana Park District. We have camps for all interests. Sign up for sports camp ages 6 through 12, preschool arts camp ages 3 through 5, and Camp Fresh, teens ages 12 through 15. Sign up now for a special discount. Register online at urbanaparks.org/register or call 217-365-1544. Urbana Park District, you belong here.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328 7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know,